What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid, tapping back in with another one, man. And No Jumper had a blast from a past, I guess we could say, pop up on their platform. And I mean, he's popped up here and there over the years, in the blogosphere since YouTube jumped off. And I'm talking about Bangum Smurf. And first off, I'm happy to see Smurf get on there. You know what I mean? As a fan of hip hop, is crazy. For those that were following G Unit from way back, Power of the Dollar, How to Rob the Industry, just all that, the day one 50 Cent fans. Because that's the thing, man. Fifth really was hot way before the Eminem situation when it came to mixtapes and whatnot, even prior to G Unit. And it's just always been so crazy how they fell out the way they did. I'm not even all the way through the interview at this point. Um, But we all seen the beef DVD and everything, and it was just crazy to see two really close dudes like that just fall out, and it got ugly. Remember, Fifth was talking about, yo, Smurf, brush your teeth before you talk about me, talking real greasy and all that. But I hope Smurf being on No Jumper, like I hope this translates to he can win. I'm not saying he really gives a fluck about this internet ish, but it's just like I hope he can win. I'd like to see Bangum Smurf build a YouTube platform or something like that, because it's just wild. He was a part of this movement and then just got X'd out, whatever the case was. I got to get deeper into this interview, but what's so crazy about it is Adam and Almighty Suspect is interviewing Smurf, and Smurf's talking about how even before 50 Cent, he was brushing shoulders with some dudes from the hip hop world, and he's talking about the Lost Boys, and Adam and Almighty Suspect didn't know who the fuck the Lost Boys were. That was crazy to me. I mean, Almighty, I guess I don't know. Maybe he's a little bit younger or whatever the case is. But Adam, I'm like, I'm shocked. He didn't seem to know who the fuck the Lost Boys were either. Most definitely, R.I.P. Freaky Ty. Man, they had hits. Lex Coop's Beamers in the Benz was my favorite joint they had. Of course, everyone knows Renee. Ghetto love is the law, but we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my shorty had to die. That man, they just had bangers and they were nice, and definitely legendary in my book. And it's like Adam or Almighty have no clue who the fuck they were. I mean, listen, I don't know everything about hip hop, but that just struck me as fucking odd that they're like, oh, so the Lost Boys were a hip hop group. Tell me about the Lost Boys. Like, come on, man, that's just sounded kind of foolish to me. Y'all, let me know if you agree, if you watch the interview or not. Again, I'm not all the way through it. I got to get back to it, but I was just watching and just had to tap in with that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these dudes, man? But back to talking about Smurf once again. I hope he could win, gain some momentum off appearing on No Jumper, and from what I did hear to the point of the interview I'm at, he did make it clear that as far as Fifth and the beef and everything like that, he's past that. That he's not upset or harboring any negative feelings anymore. You know what I mean? Because his things went really bad for him. He beefed with Fifth. He ended up doing a state bid. He got axed out like he was on tour and everything. I believe he was in the club video and all that, but he ended up getting locked up, getting deported. And from then on, as far as the blogosphere era on YouTube, all we ever seen was him kind of pop up here and there, do interviews, and voice his displeasure with 50 Cent. But the one thing to me that had Smurf looking crazy was that he got that Coke Boys tattoo. That was like, I don't know, man. I just felt like personally that wasn't a good look for Smurf. And it kind of felt like French used Bangum Smurf and Rick Ross as well, as they were beefing with 50 Cent, and then they hung with Smurf for a little bit. And like Smurf, it's always been said was like a real solid street dude, and it just kind of seems like that's would be something out of character to go and do that. But I guess at the time, he was just still so hot about the way things went with Fifth that he went and, jumped out the window and got that face tat and kind of ended it up getting used in that beef. I would say, y'all let me know if you guys agree, but I'm going to get back to finishing that interview. But one more thing. So let me know your thoughts all about that. Don't know about who the Lost Boys are. Come on, Adam and Almighty. But one more thing I wanted to touch on real quick is this Kodak Black situation is crazy, man. I'm sure y'all done seen the video going wild viral of Kodak Black appearing in court in that bright orange suit. I thought that, like the video was hilarious. Kodak Black's all over the place. He asked for that Jolly Rancher, but his lawyer really working some magic, because he is out on bail, and had to abide by pretrial stipulations for this pill trafficking case, right? So, it's basically like being on paper. And, as word had hit prior to him appearing in court here, a warrant was issued as Kodak had missed a drug test. So, what's crazy is he misses the drug test, shows up 3 days later, and still pisses dirty, man. Like, you're rich. You probably missed because you knew you were gonna be dirty. So you had 3 days. Like, you should have spent some bread and did what you could do to get your system clean. But he pisses dirty for that Fenty Wap, and it's just like, damn, Kodak always kind of seemed like he's high at times. That's just, I don't know. You guys let me know if you agree or not. But the lawyer, like in Kodak was a riot in court, but the lawyer really worked some magic. This like part of having money, having that attorney money. He goes in and says, Your Honor, this my client, did piss dirty, but we feel like a struck employee may have been the reason Kodak pissed dirty. Like, they flip it that, because dude is a Kodak fan, he somehow messed up the test. That really don't make sense if you ask me. Like, if he was if he is a starstruck fan, wouldn't he do something like, what are they saying? He mixed up the samples? Because if anything, he would want to help Kodak and get him some clean piss, you know what I mean? But they went and had the actual dude who worked for the urinalysis company or the lab or whoever the fuck it was come in and testify. I think I might have fucked it up. Like, I wonder if they had to pay some bread for that. So then the court says, how about this? Uh, we'll say that could have happened. We'll take a hair sample. And they were like, well, this dude ain't doing it. So all in all, at the end of the day, they said, okay, Kodak Black can go to a 30-day inpatient rehab, which if he's pissing dirty for that Fenty Wap, I think he really does need to go there. Because real talk, as we've been over so many times on this channel, man, it ain't worth it being out there experimenting, getting high, all that synthetic poison out there, put your ass in the motherfucking dirt. And, they, so he's going to go in and do this 30-day rehab. But they said, hey, we need a week or two so Kodak can go do Rolling Loud. And the judge says, okay. So all in all, a big W for Kodak Black, because this pretrial situation, you know what I mean? We've seen before they've been not fucking around with Kodak Black, and he's been incarcerated numerous times where he had to sit after the fame and having all that lawyer money and still couldn't get him up out of it. He probably would still be in prison if Trump didn't pardon him out. So this could have been really bad. He could have been, they could have said, listen, we're revoking your bond. You're going to sit while this court case is pending. And let's not act like this ain't a serious case with all this priors as well, in the way that Florida is, man. Like, Kodak could still be looking at some time, but the attorney did what he did, worked his magic, and Kodak's going to go do Rolling Loud, go do that rehab. And I don't know, if the bond's just going to be reinstated or he's going to have to appear in court after those 30 days in that rehab. And, more or less, it seems like he'll be good money unless he, flux around and does some BS when it comes to being in the rehab. I don't know, man, but that's just a hell of a story right there. And then on top of it, while this is all playing out and the attorneys working his magic, Kodak's up in there in a bright orange suit, being just extra animated and getting Jolly Ranchers from the judge. This is just something else, man. But that's all I got on this one. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to sub up. Stay tuned for more videos coming. It's Coffee. I'm out of here. And let's talk, man. Like, what do y'all think about this Kodak situation and Bang'em Smurf and Adam and Almighty not knowing about the Lost Boys? Like, come on, man. Shame on y'all running a damn hip hop platform and don't know who the Lost Boys are. Fuck out of here.